Hello, Toddbog here with Breaking the Stream, and welcome to a new Let's Play of Conquest of Elysium 4. Where we last left off, we just finished up our Pale Ones playthrough, which was difficult for sure. Some lessons learned, and I do plan on going back and revisiting them at some point. I think they have some interesting things, if nothing else, for just the interest of variety. They have some really cool troop types and everything like that. But you know, obviously we ran into some bad RNG. Our commander, King, big bruiser type that usually can help you control the map early on, got diseased early on, so he never healed. So that led to the loss of him early on. And then being next to a Warlock, having a Senator on the map, and a Dryad Queen as a neighbor as well, just means that everybody else had such a nice head start with free units, essentially, that we just couldn't overcome. So, that being said, we're going to start a new playthrough here, and as always, it's going to be beginner-friendly, and we're going to continue to play to completion. And we're down to 4 class according to the list I have here. So basically, I'll go ahead and get our settings here. We do a large map. We'll have a random society. Hit OK. Again, the tip here, if you aren't aware, if you want to change everything, you can just delete until you have just one AI. Change it to the settings you want, which I want count difficulty. And then when you hit new player, it automatically incorporate that. We'll go ahead and continue to do our standard setting, which is 6 AI on count difficulty to go against us. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and choose our class. So there are 4 classes I have yet to do, and we're going to be going through them in due time. So we have the Necromancer left over, the Druid left over, the Warlock left over, and the Markgraf. So, since I just got back from playing a pretty rough playthrough, I was thinking of choosing another strong class. But in this case, I think it's a toss-up between the Warlock and the Markgraf here. I think we're going to go with the Warlock because for those of you that will come from the last playthrough, it'll be interesting to see things from the other side and also see how hard it is to do what they did, because we don't cheat. We have to actually live within the resources we get instead of getting that bonus. So we'll take a look here at the Warlock. So they can call upon a number of very strong and powerful beings to serve them. Kings and queens of the elements are almost as powerful as demon lords and can summon and command lesser elemental beings. Greater elemental beings are strong but often lacking in magical abilities. So they start in a well-fortified tower of the elements, collect gems from mines, use gems to perform elemental rituals, and have different innate powers depending on what element they're associated with. So this will all be important here for us. But so yeah, we're going to go ahead and choose our Warlock. We got our unique random players, so we have a chance to get Easter egg races. For those of you who aren't aware, the playthrough we had with the Pale Ones, we got to see a Beholder King, which is one of the rare non-playable factions that can show up as an opponent in a game. And if you want to see the Archmage, that showed up in a game I played as the Senator, my first playthrough. So if you want to check that one out, that one was a really cool one too. So we'll go ahead and get started here though. And as usual, we'll go through our beginning stuff after naming myself. Old Toddbog, the Warlock. And so, as you can see in starting, we got this Tower of Elements, which is really cool. Gets us started on Sapphires already, so we're getting 2 Sapphires a turn. We've got ourselves our Warlock of Water, that's us, and Warlock's Apprentice. I wonder if that's different depending on which element you roll, or if you're always a water Warlock, so it'd be interesting to check out. Anyways, so as you can see here, we've got Hydromancy level 2 spells since we're a Water Warlock. So we can do Dehydration, which paralyzes, Stream of Water, which hits 3 targets for 1 to 3 damage, Acid Spray, which hits in a narrow cone for 1 to 10 damage of acid, acid being armor negating, and one of the few channels that rarely has resistances, if any. And then I can summon water elementals for battle, so that's pretty cool. And then I have my Apprentice here, who appears to be a Warlock. Elemental magic is what he gets, so I guess once he studies, he becomes specialized in one of them, I think. But he does look like an Earth typey. Anyways, he just gets to win 1 to 3 damage in a burst of 5, which stuns. That's really good. And Earth Grip, which basically will lock them into place, paralyze essentially. Let's see. Warlocks are mages of limited power who study elemental magic. Due to their limited scope of understanding, they usually surrender to, rather than harness, the magic of the elements. Any wise practitioner of the magic arts can see this invariably leads to tragic results. When a young mage meets a powerful warlock, he might believe the powers of the warlock are his own, but in reality they are borrowed or lent from the elemental lords. When a young apprentice has gained little knowledge, she is able to form pacts with the elements and summon elemental beings to serve him. But in order to gain more power, must form a pact with one of the elements, rejecting the opposite element. It clearly shows how limited the arcane understanding of the warlock is. So that's our basic units here. Army-wise, we get standard human troops, the core of which are going to be your spearmen, just a real standard 1 to 4 damage, and they have a shield, so it blocks 0 to 1 damage. So archers are standard and pretty good for what they do. 1 to 3 damage at range, and they have 5 hit points. So that's basically what you start with there. Recruit-wise, you can recruit all the normal human troops. So a swordsman is basically an improved version of a spearman. It has 2 extra damage there for 5 iron more. So we'll have to find iron, which is definitely going to be one of the things we're looking for anyways. We have crossbowmen, which are an improved damage version of bowmen, as you see, 1 to 5 versus the 1 to 3. However, the crossbow is only usable every 2 rounds. Heavy infantry are great because they have the 2 armor base. Armor reduces damage that is taken by the amount that is shown. And then the shield they have is a large shield, so it blocks another 0 to 3. So they block 2 to 5 damage. And as you can see, since core troops usually only do 1 to 6 damage at most traditionally, that's a pretty good defense. Even though they only have the 8 hit points, they'll last a lot longer. But what slows you down is they're slow. Forgive the pun there. The slow means they can only move across the map at a reduced pace, meaning that you'll be less flexible in terms of what you can capture and what you can catch and destroy. So generally, I don't build them until I need a nice siege army, and they also cost a lot of iron as well. And then, speaking of siege, your catapults fire a boulder every 2 rounds. We'll go into more in that when siege comes up. But pretty cool troop, but costs a lot of iron, and you're not going to get that anytime soon, so just something to keep in mind. But the last thing we got to check now is our special powers. So you saw the spells that we cast in the actual battles. These are the special powers or rituals, which allow you to use your gems to summon things. So I can get a lesser water summoning here, and it costs 20% less to cast if in water citadels. So this will bring new troops to you. Champion of Water helps you basically control that. So there's some really cool stuff here. But as you can see, we're only getting 2 blue gems a turn, and we need a minimum of 22 to actually do any summons. So 20% less of casting water citadels. Interesting. All right, and then we got air summoning and earth summoning here, and then of course summon Champion of Water. Water Pact basically allows you to upgrade yourself. If you were the Greater Water Pact, would turn me from a level 2 mage into a level 3 mage, and this will also get us additional spells here, I believe, or rituals. So, but if we go to the Greater Water Pact, then we lose the ability to do anything but water summons. So it's a trade-off for this faction for sure. So Enyalios, as you can see, can do any of the packs, costs us 50 gems, but until he does, he can do all the lesser summonings, just no discount for a particular path. So, just something to keep in mind. Alright, well, what we need to do is we need to get our army together, and we need to move out. So, the coal mine would be great. Those guys do hit hard, though. And we need gold as well, so we might as well take this. Let's see, we got all the vision we need, so yeah, we're going to crash the hamlet first, and we'll go from there. Nice and easy. Oh, with my spell casting, I should be able to crash that, actually, so let's do that. Now, we're very vulnerable right now. If any enemy were to attack us at our citadel and take it, we lose, because if you lose your last citadel or you lose your last leader, you lose the game. So we're leaving ourselves vulnerable, but because we're in a corner of a map, as you can tell by all the water around it, I think we're going to be okay. So nice. All right, so we did pretty good there. We got ourselves a coal mine. The coal mine will always give you a gold and an iron, and then if you're a gem class like I am, you'll get a random gem. So in this case, we're getting rubies now. So those are going to slowly build up, and we're going to hopefully get more powerful soon. All right, let's just do that. So we see some land over there, so that'll be good. But yeah, the early turns are definitely a lot quicker as you're just basically searching for and gathering resources. Whew. Wish there was some mines hidden in these mountains. So, Kraken. So Krakens are cool. They have 4 attacks for 1 to 4 damage, 42 hit points. So they're meaty boys. They take a bit to drop. Wolves are hard hitters but low hit points, so they generally die in droves, but they'll do some damage, unlike some of the other animals per se. But if this Kraken comes and takes the coal mine, I'll be sad. I'll be very sad. Not much I'm going to do about it right now, though. See, High Priestess was already eliminated, and it was conquered by horrors. So she lost her her home, just like I'm afraid I will lose mine. We're going to come over. So when we're in snow, you're basically each of these squares take a number of movement points. Your standard plains would take 1, forests take 2, mountains take 3, and then you got hills as well that take 2. They add 1 when it's snow covered. So in this case, we're snow covered. So now we're taking 2 to go through the plains, and you can go at a detriment. So I had only 1 action point left, but that action point will then be taken from the next one. So you'll also see my gold income has gone down. Normally I get 2 for these 2 here, but it's currently 1 because of the snow. So, however, the mines aren't affected by weather, so that's good. So we got a crab there. All right, we're coming up anyways. We're gonna come and take our Tower of Elements, and well, maybe not. Maybe that was not a smart idea, but we'll figure it out. We're going to get some archers up in that tower, though, for sure. Okay. So not only do we get the increased vision range again, but we also will... yeah, we're going to eliminate these wolves, because they're going to come up and take that coal mine, I'm having to guess. But this is now defended pretty well against the random monsters that'll roam around. So winter should be over now. Yep. Okay, so we're just going to kill these wolves. That Kraken's just salivating at the mouth at having his own coal mine, I guess, so... Alright, so we're getting close to our first water summons, so we're going to definitely do that, but we're going to move out to find more points of interest, because we definitely need more income, and definitely need more gems, as you can see. Alright, moose and fire ants. So these guys are deceptive, because they are tiny, but they're heavily armored. They have the tiny thing, which means half the attacks miss, and then they do an acid spray, which will hit up to 2 targets for 1 to 2 damage. So they're hardy enough that 2 hit points is not a lot to gut through, but with the armor and their tiny status, it means that it's going to take more attacks than you think to kill them. So, but we don't need to right now because we're not finding any points of interest. That's not great, because we're sort of dependent on income in order to do things. And then yeah, we'll go ahead and keep moving along here. Okay, so we got a couple things. First is an ancient forest that spawns animals that will then roam, and the only way to stop it is to burn down the ancient forest, or if you're a race that can capture it, you can capture them. But it has a beholder hanging out on here, and it looks like he's got all the spells as expected. Each of the eyes will do a bit of spell casting, all 6 of them. And then the big bite. so yeah, I'm not taking this one out anytime soon. There is a port here, though, as well, and that port is defended by archers on walls, so that's going to be a tough nut to crack for us right now. So we'll have to come back and see what we could do there. But we might as well go over here, and we'll probably eliminate these wolves next round, and I'll do my first summon at the same time. So unless the wolves move, which they typically do. Yep, okay, that's a good one. Alright, so let's go ahead and do our first summons. So we're going to summon the water elementals, lesser water summoning, and it should summon. Nice. The big old water elemental. So these guys are cool. They do 1 to 4 damage in a wide cone of 6, so they hit a bunch of people. If they're affected by the damage, in other words, if it breaks through the armor, it stuns them. And then if they are affected, they could also just straight up die. It can do 1 to 999 points of damage, armor negating, but magic resistance will negate it easily, so it's not common, but it can be a massive attack, so that's pretty cool. So the resistant, meaning they take half damage from all normal channels, but they never heal, so any damage they take will remain with them until they perish fully. But since they're mindless, they're immune to a lot of the affecting things like sleep and charm. And they're also wall climbing, so walls don't mean much to them. So that's not bad. That's a pretty cool thing. And then we're going to go ahead and crush these wolves. And we see there's more water here, so I'm not feeling great about us finding any great points of interest here. But one of the things you'll see is that friendly fire is definitely a thing with these mindless beings. So it is an unfortunate side effect of the work, but yeah, it is what it is. Alright, so at this point there's no reason to continue this path here. We can go ahead and kill the moose. Moose are pretty big, but oh, there's 3 of them here. I thought there was only 1. Okay, so they trample, so that means, oh, that's fast. They're trample, so they're going to run over our troops and do damage to them and knock them out of the way. But I think our water elemental will be more than matched up for them. There we go. So we took more damage than I expected, but... And these wolves really want to get in on it, but I need to get out of here. That thing is going to be annoying. There's that Kraken. He's just sort of teasing us. 45... Tricky part about the Kraken is I hope he doesn't attack my walls. He climbs walls. Okay, no, good. And now we're slowed down because of that. Alright, well that explains why all the ants are there. So they're coming out of this ant mound. Giant ant hills. Interesting. Okay, finally some populations here. We can come and at least take their stuff and get the gold. We're almost able to hire our next round of archers. Alright, got a captain. Alright, let's see. We only have the action points for 1, so we're going to grab the coastal hamlet. We got another hamlet here. Luckily, we're at the temperature band, so we won't be affected by snow once we get south of here. So that might be where we have to go. At some point, we'll come back to you, Phrygia. Alright, let's go ahead and recruit those archers on our wall here. And that way we don't lose our citadel. Yeah, friendly fire can be annoying at times. Warlock's Apprentice for way more gold than we can afford. We're going to just straight attack here. 7 units. We could probably take that out fairly easy. But won't be any real benefit for us except additional scouting, so... Alright, we just murdered those guys. Spring is here! Hooray! Alright. So bandits and slingers are tougher than you may think. Alright, cool. This is a good source of income, if not to gems, unfortunately. So we'll be able to recruit more troops eventually. So we're at 7 gold income because they just all took my stuff. Giant ants are just bigger versions. They have 21 hit points. They're not tiny, but they do have the 2 armor, so punching through that is pretty tough. And their acid spray is even higher. They also have a bite, which will do additional damage, so definitely not messing with them. I will come and take out the bandits instead. Okay. Alright. And then we'll take out this captain and 2 swordsmen. As you can see, a lot of back and forth for those of you who are new to the series. One of the things you have to really get your acceptance of is that you're going to lose your stuff that you've captured and spent so much time getting. Ooh, okay. So we've got undead manning the walls with the Mark Graph player. Interesting. That is interesting. Definitely can't take it, but more ants. Oh, just 1 though. We can take that out. And we'll go ahead and turn. So now we're starting to build up. Okay, so we can take that now. We don't have anything else we want to do. We can probably eliminate the ants. So let's go ahead and use our special powers. We're going to do our lesser water summoning. Yeah, it's sometimes what you get. So the lesser waters are just 2 strikes, 1 to 3 damage, which can also stun. So that's pretty cool. Again, they don't heal though, and they only have 7 hit points, but they do take half damage from all attacks. So very useful there. And it seems like something took. Yep, Kraken finally took the mine he's been eyeing, as expected. Let's go ahead and throw some. Let's see, we've got some iron production. We'll just throw spearmen up. Yeah, they took our only source of iron and sapphires right now. So. Okay. Alright, we got ourselves another hamlet with 2 levies. Lion Tribe Village we can take out as well, so excellent. So our gold income is improving. It's incremental as always, but this army's held up a lot longer than I thought it would, for sure. So, alright, this will take all our action points anyways, so we'll take that. The ants are going to be quite annoying until we can get a force strong enough to take them out. That Kraken is already annoying. We're going to save up gold essentially now for a leader, so we can go and either take on the Kraken and eliminate him, or just take it back when he leaves. Because he'll get tired. There's only so much mining a Kraken can do before he grows bored of it. Slinger and a bandit will eliminate. Alright, pygmies are deceptive. They do have a poison bow, so they do poison damage. And a club, so there's a lot of them. I'm not taking this point of interest right now with the armies I have. So, and looks like we lost both of those at once, as happened last time. Alright, so they have moved out, but I don't think I have a leader yet I can recruit, so we gotta wait. Alright, so we've taken... We'll just jump in here. Jungles are tough. There are three to take over as well. High Lord Knight. Look at all these animals just stomping all over our hamlets. Little bastards. Alright. No special recruits yet. So now I feel confident that that Citadel will hold. I just got to wait for a captain recruit or something like that to come in. We'll go ahead and hit that. Soulless, farm. Alright, we'll just keep hitting these points of interest as they show up. And we keep killing our own troops. We've killed more of our troops than the enemy has, I think, at this point. But that's generally the case. Ooh, there's Graveyard. Okay, we can take that. Doesn't really do anything for us except stop undead from spawning. And they've officially taken over all of that again. And I still haven't got a leader recruit. Come on, give me a leader. Give me a Warlock. That would be nice. Alright. At this point, we're going to take them out just because the farm does nothing for us as far as snow goes right now. Some giant mantises are coming in. Alright. Still no leader. Alright. Okay, spring is here. Still no leader. Alright. Well, that's going to be the game. We're going to go ahead and come down here and just start taking them out one by one. We'll be able to do another water summon soon. We got a scout. That's not a leader, but hey. Yeah, it's worth more. And I want to scout down here anyways, but it's all just terrible terrain. My gosh. They're really trying to hurt us here. Alright, let's go ahead and grab some more spearmen. And nope, no leader. Alright. We're going to come back up here and take that. Okay, good. There's more stuff. Guard tower. These are longbowmen. So they do 1 extra damage over bowmen, have 1 extra range over both bowmen and crossbowmen, and they fire every turn. So really good. really enjoyed them. Only the Baron gets to recruit them as a regular thing, so... Ah, you saw that 920 damage there? That was from the special effect. It doesn't trigger a lot, as you can see, because we haven't seen that very often, but it's really cool when it does. And these guys are just coming down to take my stuff. Alright, well, whatever. Screw you guys, too. We'll go ahead and turn. Seems like we're not doing much, but all these are incrementally improving us, because that income is very important, so... Alright, we'll go ahead and grab that. We'll go ahead, since we're going to take on these levies here, we're going to use our special powers to do a lesser water summoning. Yeah, alright. So, I forget. Is that a cold attack? I don't know. It may just be a blunt attack, in which case they'll take half damage when hurting each other, but... Okay. Well, either way, we'll crash into you. And then we may have to swing back and just take over our own stuff again at this rate. Still haven't found any mines, so unlike our playthrough with our Pale One... Ooh, they managed to sling his butt. With the Pale One where it was just spilling out of our ears. Ooh, good. In this case, we're not seeing that, so that's unfortunate. And I haven't found a captain until just now, so thank you, Captain. Captain, let's go ahead and transfer up. And we'll get... we'll leave 3 archers. That should be sufficient to hold off a crab that took our hamlet here, so we'll grab that again. But now we have our sapphires again, so we can... Or, I mean, our rubies again, so we can finally do one summon of theirs. Alright. So we can do that. I was going to attack down here, but... Oh, no. 24 units. That's way too many right now. But that's 4 diamonds. Oh my gosh, that would be really awesome. So, yeah, we're going to have to really build up our forces. But I want to take this because this is a village that's 3 gold and very nice to have. Why are you... Why? What do you guys get out of my farms? What am I growing? Is it your food? Shouldn't we change our crop if that's the case? I mean, geez. Alright, let's grab some more archers. And we'll go ahead and turn. Alright. So, we got a scout. Okay, so we're 1 away now from having a fire summons, which would be cool. I think it might be detrimental to our army's makeup, though, if we... let's see. All these ants. I gotta go and take that ant hill out. Let's go ahead and take this out, and you'll see what their acid does. Hopefully our water will do more. Alright, you're going to come here. You're going to transfer out some archers, and we're going to take and leave 5. That should give us a full 10 of each type. And I think, yeah, you need to come down and just retake our coastal hamlets and hamlets here. Okay, good. Wasn't as bad as I thought it might be. Alright, let's go ahead and use your special powers. You can't do fire, but Inyalios can. Okay. So your fire elementals have a different effect, and luckily they're being put on the ends, so they don't have to worry about the water attacks. But they're ethereal, so 3/4 of attacks that attack them do nothing at all. They just pass through. Again, they don't heal, and then they do have a pretty good attack at 1 to 7 damage with their flame strike. So they're pretty good. They're fairly defensive, but not as useful against certain troop types for sure. So, all right, and you, sir, you're just gonna have to go through the forest here. Yeah, that's what we're doing. All right, we're gonna recruit some more. No, you know what? We're gonna save the gold in case we get a caster recruit. Captain. Okay, for that for now. Alright, it's going to be bad either way, so just do that. We're going to come back and see if we can take out the giant anthill. All those animals that we can't do anything about. Now we can do a recruit. Yeah, let's do the captain. Let's be safe. Because we're going to need him at some point. Alright, so you still have the 4 and the 5, huh? I could wait a turn. Alright. Let's see. With your 10 and 10, or 10 and 11, we could take out these 3 boars, and we're going to have to do that anyway, so yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we're going to wait a turn so that I can do one more water elemental summoning. We'll come down here, though. And then we'll be able to crash into this hill and stop the ants from spawning anymore. And then we just have to make sure they don't retake it. Should be good to go. So let's use our special power. Alright, good. And yep, let's crash. You guys, 4 fire ants, let's crash that. Because you're working your way down here anyways. And we'll see. Very nice. Alright, so spring is here, finally. So we got this. As you can see, it doesn't provide anything, but it prevents them from spawning. So that's the good reason to have that. Alright, what are you? 6 fire ants? Okay. 4 giant ants. I hate ants when they're not in my employ. Alright, and they've recaptured all of that, so we're going to run through and do another circuit, but we're getting stronger for sure, so it's just a matter of being patient. Alright, captain and 5 archers. Let's go ahead and grab some spearmen. Build up the next army as we go. Took a little bit longer there. As you can see, they can shoot through the 2 ranks, so that's definitely a big boon for them. We'll crush that. Might as well do our scouting and kill the deer. I should always check. When you see deer, deer can also have friends that are bears. And for some reason, they show the deer instead of the bears. And deers are definitely less of a problem than bears for your troops to fight, as one might imagine from common sense. Oh, okay, so we got our first opponent. It's a pale one, so kind of a... Oh my god, they got a pretty large army already. Hopefully they kill these dwarves here, and then we can go and take their stuff. So yeah, the pale ones are cool if you haven't seen them before. They've got their King of the Deep, and so he's just a big beefy boy. He's got his armor, he's got his hit points. Does a big chunk of damage, 1 to 27. So when you see this 1 to 4 plus 23, you add that 23 to the end, and that's like a die you roll, so a 27-sided die. You basically do that much damage when you attack. These guys are your siege boys, and they also throw boulders in regular combat, but they throw it every other round, kind of like a crossbow. So they're useful in siege, and again, we'll go over that more in detail later. Otherwise, they got a bunch of their cavern guard already, so they're already doing much better than my playthrough was with the pale ones, but, you know, can't win it all, so. Alright, please be less. Yes! Alright, this is only 9 of these bad boys, and that'll be more than enough for us to take out, so just make sure there's no other things. Alright, I just missed this whole middle of the map because, you know, just luck of the exploration. The hamlets drew me away. They already retook their giant anthill, by the way, so we'll have to deal with that as well, but... Nice. Yes! He took out that mine, so we'll wait for him to run away, and then we'll take it from him. Alright, let's see. You, sir... can come and stop these ants from coming any further. Oops, hit the wrong button there. Alright, rubies would be very, very useful. So we're going to go ahead and crush you guys. And then we'll come and take the coal mine next. That's good. That's a huge pocket that we needed for our army for sure. Alright, let's go ahead and grab some more archers because we're defending walls first. And then we'll grab some... spearmen probably, or maybe we'll grab some swordsmen now. Okay, so the dwarves have one of the highest damage archers. They do 1 to 10 damage. It's the arquebus, so it's just a gun. Alright, let's go ahead and take that, and then we can eliminate these ants. Yeah, the gem income is fantastic. Alright, we'll go ahead and take out this mine now and get the diamonds going. And then we'll sneak up there and snag that and let them come back and snag it again from us. And we'll just continue to duel and share our diamonds. Oh, I didn't see that the crab came aboard. You're not... Yeah, you're aquatic, so you can't come along. Okay, good. I can't deal with an asp turtle right now. Alright, so let's wake up our captain here. Transfer... Don't really need all the troops, but we'll transfer those guys just to be under his employ. And we'll sentry him up again, and we'll do recruiting. So we were going to get some swordsmen, so we'll do that. They do a little more damage. Eventually, though, they're going to be supplanted by these elementals and such. Or I should say, highly supplemented by them. Alright, we got a couple fights going, so let's see what we do. Alright. Coal mine. Nice. Alright. So we got this good chunk here, and as you can see, gem income is definitely improved. Bad boy here is blocking us, so I think it's time to knock him out. You guys should probably supplement this force just in case our big bad bruiser comes back. These deer are slowly taking over all the gains I had down there, but it's alright. Let's see, we're going to go with some spearmen, and we're going to end turn here. Nice and easy. Those guys are pretty cool. They, I should have shown you, but Cav have this ability to hit hard in the first round because they get a special attack. Yeah, we're just going to take that. And then you guys will be here to supplement. They hit hard on their first attack. We're going to save the gold. And giant answer roaming up here now. So we'll have to keep an eye out for if the crab gets here. So we're saving the gold in case we get a caster. Okay, perfect. Do that. At this point, I think you're going to roam down south here, and you're going to retake this circuit of things. You can do a recruit of archers. We have 31 units here now, so okay, the crab did come aboard, so let's go and crush the crab. Crab is 55 hit points, 3 armor, so that 3 armor is pretty rough. He does 1 to 20 damage, but he can only attack 1 person at a time. So we're going to take casualties, but our archers will eventually go through. Now you may be wondering, archers only do 1 to 3 damage. How are they going to bust through 3 armor? Well, there's a couple things that go into that, and we're going to see that here. So when you roll for an attack, if you roll max damage, you actually then re-roll your die and subtract 1 from the die roll and add that to your damage. So your archer hits for 1 to 3. If it rolls a 3 for damage, it rolls again, and it can add 0 to 2 extra damage to it. And that keeps going. It's called an exploding die. So in this case, that's what we'll do to get through the armor. So we're not going to hit every time, but when we do hit, if we roll max damage, then we have a chance of doing the damage to it, and we can continue to grow. Theoretically, it can grow exponentially and then become this massive number, but just reality is it's not going to get that way too often. But it's a way to overcome high armor targets and everything like that. So, all right. I think that is all we've got there. So you'll see took 3 damage from the bow. The rest of them rolled 0. So that's all we're doing is we're just putting a lot of attacks on, and eventually we'll crush them. So, all right. So theoretically, that super powerful attack that we roll, that the 0 to 999, could be even bigger. Let's see. I wanted to check and see where he was at. He's down to 30 units now. Okay, so, yeah, Yeah, we're going to stack up. Anyways, well, we can't do any summons, but we'll just stack up and just present a hard target for now. But yeah, theoretically, that 999 damage spell that we have that is easily resisted, to recruit here, could roll max and then roll again, so you could have like a 2,000 damage spell, and there's nothing in the game that has that many hit points, so you usually don't have to worry about it. But you know, it is let's see, we've got those spearmen. It is theoretically possible, so we'll go here. We're going to crush this ant before they take their stuff and turn. Yep, he's going to take the mine. So yeah, so that's kind of why the damage can be overcome, because he's got 2 armor and a shield, so that can be difficult. Also, technically with the armor, and I simplify it for everyone, but the armor has, I would say, I'm going to guess, is a 50-50 chance of being reduced by 1. So you have 2 armor. When an attack hits, you roll a die, and it either reduces the armor by 0 or 1. So technically, it's 1 to 2 armor, depending on that roll. And then the shield is 0 to 1. So, but for simplification, I say 2 to 3 with the shield. But there is a chance you can roll low on the armor, they can roll high on the attack and do more damage. So yeah, these guys are tough because they have 2 armor. They don't have a shield though. He's tough just because he's big and has a lot of hit points to run through. And then these guys are not so great in melee. Well, no, actually they're pretty good in melee. And then, oh, I forgot to mention, the one detriment they all have is they have bad sight, so they do miss 25 or 20% of the time. So that can be a problem for them. But yeah, at this point, I don't have the resources to take on that army. They're just better. But I can overcome that a little. Use our special powers. We'll do a lesser earth summoning. Alright, those guys are good. And then Enyalios, we'll do a lesser... Oh, which one? Fire summoning. Alright. So we've supplemented our army. We're going to grab Stegobar. And we're just going to move here for now. And we're going to wait for him to move off, and we'll retake the mine. Over here, as I said, we're going to crush them. Tower elements. We'll go ahead and grab some archers just to make sure nobody steals it. Okay. Yeah, he's moved up. Alright, these diamonds are way too valuable to not take. And so, actually, the video has gone a bit long, so I apologize. So we're going to go ahead and call it here, as always. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, as it means a lot. This Warlock playthrough was looking a bit rough until we got to the mines here. So this really has transformed it, because now we're starting to see the gems come in, and we'll be able to grow our army very slowly. But as you can see, we're already getting a mix. Lesser Earth Elementals have a good armor, and they do a cone attack, so they attack for 1 to 2 damage, but it stuns. So if it manages to hurt them, they'll be stunned, so that's something that it's really hard to gauge how effective it is until you do a few battles and you see the difference between that and not having that. So, but yeah, if you enjoyed the video, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, as it means a lot, and I will catch you guys next time.